Hello, vinyl community. This is Tim Eaton from Vinyl Vengeance, and I am doing a vinyl update. I've had two packages that I have not opened. I know the contents. My friend Ron from GTR Rock Realm, who I'm sure most of you are familiar with on YouTube, has been selling some of his collection, and I wanted to support him and of course also fill in some gaps in my collection. So I've had an extremely busy week and I've been wanting to do this video, just hadn't gotten around to it. I'm going to be going to a concert tomorrow night in Nashville, and this weekend is super busy, so I thought Thursday night, let's get it done. So got the package partially opened, just need to do another slice and go ahead and share some of the goodies that I purchased from Ron's collection. I'm not going to go into any great detail over these, not for this video, because I've got far too much to show. So first one, and I'm just to throw out, I'm not sure of all the pressings. Ron did share some information with me, but as far as color vinyl and yeah, I'm sure a lot of these are repressings, but he did say that some were OGs. So one that I used to own on CD, I no longer have, Biohazard, Urban Discipline, their second full length, and Brooklyn hardcore, maybe a little bit of thrash, I guess shades of hip hop, but yeah, pretty good album. I would say out of all the ones that I had from them, that was always my favorite. Another kind of hardcore band, I've got their second LP, but I've never owned this one. And the Crumbsuckers, I believe also from the New York area, Life of Dreams. I remember seeing this album cover 20 something years ago, and yeah, just a band that I definitely should have checked this one out a long time ago. I'm a pretty big fan of DRI, Suicidal Tendencies, those style of crossover bands. So definitely looking forward to listening to that. Snow White, another band I've not explored. I know there's a female singer that this band went on to, I think, Sentinel. I was going to say Sentinel Steel. That's not right, but I know there's they morphed into another band with a new lead singer, and I'm somewhere back there in my CDs. I've got some of those albums, but Snow White never checked out. This, I believe, is their EP released on Metal Blade. Enigma? No? Well, this one is a Canadian press, so no, it is Cobra Records. So maybe one of their later releases was Metal Blade. Centrix, I believe I've got two of their later albums, but their first two, this one being, I believe, their first release, was definitely in my list of needs, wants, I guess we can say. And this is Roadrunner. This is a Music on Vinyl repress, so probably a few years old now. I love Music on Vinyl. I think they do such a great job of their pressings. There's maybe not a lot of extras. There's usually maybe a lyric sheet, a little maybe bio information, but really good pressings. And of course, when you buy the first pressings, they're usually on color. If they repress them a year or so later, they're usually black vinyl. So, and the first pressings usually will have a sticker, and typically they'll have a pressing number on the back. This one is 678. So don't know what the total pressing amount was on that, but probably could easily find that online. Snow White's first actual full-length album. I know there was one before this I think is considered full-length, but I believe it's either 30 minutes or less than 30 minutes. I think it's like 6 or 7 songs. So if I were looking at the length, the number of songs, I would call this their first full-length. I think there were a few band member changes before this, so this would be, I believe this was their last release as a band. Been wanting to listen to that for a good long while. And one that I didn't want to pay the crazy prices I've seen for this. Death Angel's first release, and this is not an OG, but I don't care. It's not a bootleg, because I know there's plenty of those that are running out there. But this was a colored Metal Blade re-release, I believe from the 2015. And yeah, white vinyl. And I am so happy to finally have this. I can remember hearing some of the songs from this from a friend who had a mixtape, and just with a bunch of other really great metal bands that I had never heard of before, Type O Negative, Carnivore, so many other, Death Angel, Dark Angel, I think. And so yeah, that mixtape was my first listen to them, and I know it was a song or two from this album. So I would say this one is probably held in the highest regards amongst their albums, even though some of the recent ones are really, really good. And I got to see them in concert 2 years ago in Nashville. They opened up for Testament and Exodus. Both of those bands were great, but I thought Death Angel was the best of the three. And I'm probably least familiar with their music, but they were outstanding. I would definitely, in a heartbeat, go back and see them again live. All right, package number 2. Of course, these, like I said, these were all purchases, trying to help Ron out. He's just trying to thin the herd a little bit, and also trying to raise some money to do some coursework. And so I might be hitting him up for some more records in the future. These next ones will be a little bit different, as obviously those were a little bit more extreme thrash, not full extreme metal, but thrash metal. Here we got maybe a little bit more hair metal and hard rock. Anybody that's into Van Halen, whether you're a Hagar fan or not, you're familiar with this. Obviously their second, OU812 second studio album. I've got it on CD, but I've never owned it on vinyl. Believe this is an OG copy. I don't think there's been too many represses of this through the years. I know there's not been one recently. And, based on the inner circle there, I would imagine this is an original from Warner Brothers. Columbia House, which I'm fine with that. This is in great condition. Happy to finally have that, because I think it's the only Hagar era of the band that I did not have on record. Next, another band that not super familiar with. I think one or two of their songs. I did listen last week to some clips of the songs on this, and I definitely my wheelhouse. This will fit in great with all the other hard rock, hair metal, late 80s, early 90s. Tora Tora, I believe their second full length. I think their first one was on an independent. This is Surprise Attack. A&M Records, 1989. OG copy. Very happy to have that in the collection. Another band that I know is popular among heavy metal fans, Sword, I believe from Canada, Metalized. I've got their second LP, Sword, maybe? I think that's the name of it. I might be wrong on that, but it's a good album, but I know that this one, most fans hold this one in a higher regard, better album. I've not heard this before. Just never got around to listening to it, but I know I will enjoy this because I like the second LP that I have. This one, Combat, and this was released 1987. So this is an OG. Repress album here. Godflesh, Street Cleaner. Familiar with the band. Years ago I had Pure, their, I believe, second full length on CD. and I've got one of their, I don't know, maybe their third or fourth full length on record. But this one, first one, I love industrial and industrial metal, so I can listen to Nine Inch Nails and Front 242, Frontline Assembly. So I know that this, even though I've heard songs from this, I think actually I probably have heard it streaming, the full album. One that I should have had in my collection a long time ago. Earache Records. This is a repress on Creation Records, I believe out of Washington State. And I think I have one or two other represses from that company, which I think they do a decent job of repressing. And the final one is a band I've not listened to, but I've been familiar with this album. I remember seeing it in the magazines, being promoted, maybe an interview here or there. This is Confessor. I think it's a U.S. band. Thinking it's from the Northeast, could be New York. I forget. I know I looked it up, but believe this is their first full length. I don't have anything by them, but I'm a huge Doom fan, so definitely an album that I will enjoy. Again, I'll have to look to see. This is another Earache, but this I believe is a repress, but on Earache and colored red. So if this one's every bit as good as I expect it to be, I will probably look into some of their other releases. So that's it from those two packages. Ron, thank you very much. I know you're not too depressed with getting rid of your albums, but I know that you're probably happy with the fact that they're going into hands of people that are going to be listening to them. And I know our buddy Tim's planning on trying to purchase some from you too. So good luck in your endeavors. I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities for us to continue to talk music online and share our collections. And again, I thank you for sharing your collection or being willing to sell it. Thank you all for watching. Have a good and safe weekend. Those of you in the U.S., Halloween tomorrow. Be safe out there. Like I said, I'm going to see a concert tomorrow night, so try to be safe on the roads. Thank you all for taking the time to watch. God bless, and see you soon.